having damnation, the damnation of being condemned outside the galaxy because they cast off their first faith, which looked fatal. When they learned to be an idol, wandering about from place to place, and not only in frozen time, but totter across the busy speakings of things of which they ought to not do. I would therefore that the younger would give a non-occasion to an adversity to speak a reproachfully. For some they already turn aside after the devil's cup, Satan. If any man or woman that believeth of windows, let them reveal that now. Let not be charged into a roof of dwelling. Let the elders that rule will be accounted for worthy of a double honor, especially when they labor the word of documental. For let the scripture, a Sath, on the Saturn day, thou shalt not muzzle the ox out in the cornfield. Against an elder would receive not an acquaintance, but a shame of walk. Before 2 or 3 witnesses, that sin rebarked before all, that others also may fear. And they charge before God, the Lord Jesus Christ, of the elected angels, the archangels. They observe these things without preferring from one another to one another, doing nothing in particular. Lay hands suddenly on no man, they bark, the archangels, the angelic ones. Either be a partaker of other men's sins, or keep thyself pure from sin. Drink no longer water, but use a little wine for thy stomach's sake, and thine often infirmities. And these things give in charge that they may be blameless. But if any provide not for their own, especially within their own house, they went to God's house, and hath denied the faith, and is worse than any and fatal. Let not a widow be taken into numbers under 80 years old, having been a wife of a man. Well reported for good work. These things command and teach. Let no man despise thou youth, but be thou example of the believers in word, in conversation, charity, and speech, of the spirit and faith, of purity during the acts of sin, but not to partake in the acts of sin. Till I come, give attention to the readings that I document. Neglect not the gift that is in thee of within, which was given thee by prophecy, but delayed on the hands of a partaker Meditate upon these things. Give thyself wholly to them. And now profiting may appear to them all. Take heed unto thyself and unto a documentary. Continue in them. Documentary within. For in doing this thou shalt both save thyself and them. For thou hear thee. Thou shalt not rebuke not an elder, but entreat elder as thy mother and father, and the younger as thy brother and of the brotherhood and thy sisterhood. And honor indeed a widow's children as thou nephew and thou niece. Let them learn first to saw pity at home and not requite their parents, for that is good and acceptable to accept God in our hearts. If thou put the sisterhood and brethren of brotherhood in remembrance of these things, thou shalt be a good ministry of Jesus.